Another story we're following is the impact of wildfires across this country, as well as concerns about air quality that have been spreading outside the regions where the fires are happening. But meanwhile, in Alberta, Cenovus Energy says it has restarted most of its production that had been shut in due to the wildfires in that province. Tara Weber has the latest. So, Tara, what's Cenovus saying?
Well, essentially, it's saying that it has safely restarted now approximately 62,000 barrels of oil equivalent a day of production. So that works out to about 73% of the total 85,000 barrels of oil equivalent a day that was impacted in May's wildfires. So Cenovus is saying, assuming that these current wildfire conditions continue, which are looking pretty good right now, its Rainbow Lake operations are expected to return to full productions within 7 to 10 days, so a little over a week at this point. And that in and of itself would bring on another 20,000 barrels. And then the remainder, everything outstanding, that is about 3,000 barrels that do remain offline at this point. They're awaiting power infrastructure to be rebuilt in various remote locations. So Cenovus is also providing an update to its infrastructure here. It says as staff have been able to access some of these sites and see what's happened after these fires, they're now reporting there's been no significant damage identified to date. So the overall wildfire situation, they say, continues to be closely monitored, and other assets, including its oil sands operations and the Lloydminster complex, have not been impacted. But overall, this is a bit of a positive update that we're hearing here from Cenovus, and you're seeing that in the stock there, up 1 to 2% today.
In the meantime, though, we have heard from federal officials warning that we could continue to see higher than normal wildfire activity this summer across the country. In Alberta in particular, what's the latest update there?
You know, this is really what's driving it home. The situation has really calmed down in Alberta. We still, though, have 63 wildfires that are actively burning at this point. 15 of them are considered out of control, and one of those is still in the area around the Grand Prairie area, and that's where there is some energy production. But overall, get this, Jacqueline, the province so far has seen 1 million hectares burned. This is according to Alberta Wildfire, and that's a milestone we've never hit so early in the season, and one we've barely ever hit at all. So just to put it all into perspective, the record was set way back in 1981. At that time, 1.3 million hectares were burned in an entire wildfire season. So we're already at 1 million, and really we haven't even hit summer yet. So that's the big concern here. But you know, overall, what we are seeing when it comes to our wildfire situation is it has been a bit of an improvement. We've had crews working really hard on this, and the provincial state of emergency did end on Sunday. But you know, this is not just Alberta dealing with this. It's been a really busy wildfire season right across the country. We've got massive fires forcing community evacuations, damaging key infrastructure in a number of provinces. There are still significant fires burning in the Northwest Territories, Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia, and you're right, much of the country is expected to be under a high or extreme risk for much of the summer. And that smoke is something it seems none of us can get away from. And I was just seeing online that some of the smoke from Quebec is all the way down in Washington, D.C. today and affecting them there. So obviously this is something that we're going to have to deal with and watch throughout the summer as well.
And like you mentioned, Tara, a lot of people putting in a lot of effort to try to get these fires under control, and potentially it could be a busy summer.